Hello, welcome to lesson number 3, the multiple choice questions. So far we have covered the strategy for doing an unseen and the very important distinction between a generalization and a specific detail, which applies to all kinds of questions. In the next lessons we're going to start analyzing types of questions, and first we'll focus on the multiple choice questions, or as they're known in Israel, מבחן אמריקאי. Sometimes it's very easy to find the right answer and sometimes not so easy. However, if you employ a calculated strategy instead of just relying on your intuition, you have a much greater chance of finding the right answer with greater ease.
And what is this strategy?
I prefer looking at it as a battle of minds between the examiner who wrote the exam and the student, something like a chess game. In order to defeat your opponent, you have to think like he does. So I will let you in on the secrets of writing the multiple choice question. You see, every question has 4 possible answers, the correct answer, and 3 wrong ones. The false answers have certain characteristics, telltale signs, which make them stand out to the experienced eye, thereby making it easier to find the correct answer. One false answer is always obviously wrong. It's usually not connected or only remotely connected to the question. This one is the easiest to spot. Another false answer uses quotes, words or phrases from the text, to trap the careless reader who fails to notice that it's put in the wrong context. The familiar phrase is then used as a bait to tempt the student to choose it only because he saw it earlier in the text. The third kind of false answer uses the trap of close but not close enough, as I call it. This trap has 2 variations. A. It looks very similar to the right answer. In fact, it's different only in one word or a minor detail. As with the previous trap, a careless reader may fail to distinguish the difference between this answer, and the right one, thus falling into the trap of the close but not close enough. B. It uses quantifiers, מילים שמתארות כמויות, in an incorrect way. For example, if the text says that most teenagers drink before the age of 15, the wrong answer will say that all teenagers drink. So all instead of most, or vice versa, להפך. None instead of some, minority instead of majority, and so on. Last but not least, let's discuss the right answer. It also has a very distinct characteristic. יש לה מאפיין מיוחד ובולט. It's never written in the words of the text. Never ever. The correct answer is always paraphrased, that is, written in different words. Did you understand the different characteristics of each option?
I think so.
Okay, so let's analyze the multiple choice question from the previous lesson. First of all, notice that the right answer, option 4, is rephrased. It's actually a summary of the main idea. So the question goes like this. What point does the writer make in lines 1 to 6? Option 1. Fat poses a higher risk to our health than sugar does. שומן מסכן את בריאותנו הרבה יותר מסוכר. Option 2. Sugar used to cause less damage than it does today. בעבר, סוכר גרם ליותר נזק מאשר כיום. Option 3. The causes of tooth decay are not well understood. הסיבות לריקבון שיניים אינן מובנות מספיק. Option 4. Information we get about food may be unreliable. מידע שאנו מקבלים על המזון עלול להיות לא אמין. Itai, can you point out the various characteristics of the false answers as I've explained? I will also give you time to think about it. Take 30 seconds of sea view.
Okay, let's see. Option 2 is the obviously wrong one. It's ridiculous to say that sugar was more harmful in the past. Option 1, fat poses a higher risk to our health than sugar does. Sounds very close to what we read because it uses the same word and phrases, but it's actually the opposite of the main idea in the paragraph. It's the quotation trap. Option 3 also uses a phrase from the text, tooth decay, but completely out of context. So it's another quotation trap.
Fantastic! Let's look at another example from the same unseen. The manufacturer's efforts have been remarkably successful, and much of the Western world continues to consume foods high in sugar. מאמצי היצרנים הוכתרו בהצלחה, ורוב העולם המערבי ממשיך לצרוך מאכלים עשירים בסוכר. Meanwhile, people have greatly restricted their consumption of fat as it has become to be viewed as one of the leading dietary causes of major diseases. באותו זמן, אנשים הגבילו את צריכת השומן שלהם, משום שראו אותו כסיבה העיקרית התזונתית למחלות קשות. And yet, despite the popularity of low-fat diets, disease rates are still rising dramatically. ולמרות הפופולריות של דיאטות דלות שומן, שיעורי המחלות עדיין עולים באופן דרמטי. Consequently, increasing numbers of scientists are asking themselves whether the role of sugar has been wrongly overlooked. כתוצאה מכך, יותר ויותר מדענים שואלים את עצמם האם התעלמו בשוגג מהתפקיד שהסוכר ממלא במחלות קשות. Now, look at the multiple choice question about this paragraph. What is the first thing that you ask yourself?
Is it a generalization or specific?
Yes, exactly.
What do we learn? They are asking me about the main idea, so it's a generalization.
Very good. What do we learn is one of the key words. So now, look for the false answers first. It's called a process of elimination. תהליך של הפחתה. By eliminating the wrong answers, we can clearly see what the right answer is. I'll give you 2 minutes to do the process of elimination. 2 minutes of sea view. Question number 5. What do we learn from lines 24 to 29? 1. Why people began consuming foods high in sugar. מדוע אנשים התחילו לצרוך מזונות עשירים בסוכר? 2. Why low-fat foods may be bad for our health. מדוע מזונות דלים בשומן עלולים לפגוע בבריאותנו. 3. Why low-fat diets became popular. מדוע תזונה דלה בשומן נעשתה פופולרית. 4. How diets can improve health. איך התזונה יכולה לשפר את בריאותנו. Option 1. Why people began consuming foods high in sugar. Do we know why? No. The text doesn't tell us why. We just know that they did. This is a typical phrasing of a wrong answer. Something from the text is taken as is, and then a very small word is added, which changes the whole meaning of the sentence. Why? So pay attention to this little word and don't fall into the trap of recognizing a familiar phrase from the text. What trap is it?
The quotation trap.
Yes, that's right. Now, option 2. Why low-fat foods may be bad for our health. This is a very tricky answer. We have already understood from the article that the role of sugar in causing diseases has been downplayed, while fat has been viewed as the main source of evil. So this option sounds like it may be right. What do you think?
We are told in the text that the rates of diseases continue to rise despite the low-fat diets. But it doesn't mean that the low-fat diets themselves are bad for our health.
Exactly, you nailed it. It's the close but not close enough false answer. What about option 3? Why low-fat diets became popular. Is it correct to say that they became popular? Yes. Do we know why they became popular? Yes. And we are told that the people believed that fat causes diseases and therefore chose low-fat diets. Now, we know it's not a trap false answer like option 1. Is it a generalization? Yes. But is it the answer to the question? Is this what we learn from the paragraph?
Well, I'm not sure. We learned this, but also other things, like the fact that the rate of diseases keep rising.
Okay, that's why the process that we're doing here is called the process of elimination. After eliminating all the false answers, what you're left with must be the right answer. It's like Sherlock Holmes said, the greatest detective ever lived. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever you're left with, however improbable, is the truth. לאחר שהורדת את הבלתי אפשרי, מה שנותר לך, גם אם הוא בלתי סביר, הוא האמת. So let's look at the last answer, option 4. How diets can improve our health. Notice that the how is not a question, it means איך.
We are not told how diets in general improve our health, so it's obviously the wrong answer.
Exactly. So, what are we left with?
Option number 3. Why low-fat diets became popular, and we have another sign that it's the right answer, because it's not in the word of the text.
Wonderful work! Would you like to try another MC question from a different unseen?
Yeah, bring it on.
Ooh, someone is feeling like Sherlock Holmes today. The unseen is called, is it time to reconsider our ideas about waste disposal? And it's taken from the Model G Bagrut, Summer 2017. The question is this. As a result of his findings, Kinman insists that only a few materials, such as paper and aluminum, should be recycled, and that all other types of waste should go in landfills. כתוצאה מהממצאים שלו, קינמן עומד על כך שרק מספר מצומצם של חומרים צריכים להיות ממוחזרים, כמו למשל נייר ואלומיניום, וכל שאר סוגי הפסולת צריכים ללכת למטמנה, אתר המשמש לטמינת פסולת מוצקה. His view may seem surprising given that harmful substances have been known to leak from these sites and pollute surrounding land. ההשקפה שלו עשויה להיראות מפתיעה, לאור העובדה שידוע לנו כי חומרים מזיקים זלגו מהאתרים האלה וזיהמו את האדמה מסביבם. However, recent technological advances have led to the improved construction and design of landfills, minimizing the risk to the environment. אבל התפתחויות טכנולוגיות אחרונות הובילו לשיפור התכנון והתשתית של מטמנות והפחיתו את הסיכון לסביבה. Furthermore, landfills are not the wasteful use of land that people assume them to be. בנוסף לכך, מטמנות אינן השימוש הבזבזני של קרקע שאנשים חושבים שהן. Recent survey found that they actually take up very little space, and that when full, most are covered over with soil and turned into fields and parks. מחקר עדכני מצא שהן בעצם תופסות מעט מאוד מקום, וכשהן מלאות מכסים אותן באדמה והופכים אותן לשדות או לפארקים. So the question goes like this. It's question number 4. What do we learn from lines 17 to 25 about landfills? Option 1. They contain fewer harmful substances than we think. הן מכילות פחות חומרים מזיקים ממה שחשבנו. Option 2. They are cheaper to construct than in the past. הן זולות יותר לבנייה מאשר בעבר. Option 3. They are built differently than in the past. הן בנויות באופן שונה מאשר בעבר. Option 4. It is hard to find a good location for them. קשה למצוא להן מיקום טוב. First of all, let's determine whether the question is asking for a generalization or a specific detail. What do you think, Itai?
Okay, what do we learn? It's a classic generalization question.
Very good. Now let's start with the process of elimination. I'll give you 2 minutes of calming sea view to think about it. Option 1. They contain fewer harmful substances than we think. The answer includes the phrase harmful substances, which appears in the second sentence. How should you feel when you see a phrase taken from the text?
I don't know. How should I feel?
Very, very suspicious.
Is it the quotation trap?
It certainly looks like it, because the landfills don't contain less harmful substances. They contain the same amount of substances. And the difference is that now they don't leak. Option 2. They are cheaper to construct than in the past. Check the text. Are we told anything about price of landfills?
No.
Right. It's another quotation trap because they use the word construct, which you see in the text. Option 3. They are built differently than in the past. Notice how both options 2 and 3 have very similar phrasing. Something that is more than in the past. This reminds us something in the text, right? But it's also confusing because it makes the answers so similar. This is another trap that is often used in multiple choice questions. The trap of the similar answers. Now, let's look at option 3 and ask ourselves, is it true? Are landfills built differently than in the past? The answer is yes. As you can read in the first sentence, is it rephrased? Yes. Is it an answer to the question, what do we learn about landfills in these lines? Maybe. There are also other things we learn there. We still have to check option 4. Option 4. It is hard to find a good location for them. Is this sentence true? Are we told anything about difficulties in finding a location for landfills? Of course not. So this is the obviously wrong answer. And now what do you think?
Option 3 is clearly the right answer. It presents all the signs of a right answer. It's a generalization, it's rephrased, and it's true that it's something we learn in these lines.
Wonderful! You've just completed today's lesson. So let's sum up what we learned about the multiple choice questions. There are 4 answers, the right answer and 3 wrong ones. The strategy is a process of elimination. The right answer is always rephrased. The wrong answers contain traps. The obviously wrong trap, the quote trap, the close but not close enough trap, and the similar answers trap. Goodbye. See you in the next lesson.